Okay.
All right, today, y'all, I want y'all to look at this. Isn't that absolutely beautiful?
Oh.
Who would not want to dig into that and eat that? This is chicken stir fry, and I've got broccoli, cauliflower, mushrooms, carrots, onions, peppers, chicken, and we seasoned it with fish sauce, toasted sesame oil, salt, pepper, garlic, fresh ginger. Now, listen. Y'all stay tuned, and we are about to make this together.
Okay, it's healthy food time and kitchen fun time with Grandma Rose on Grandma Rose's Open Pantry YouTube channel.
All right, y'all.
Good morning, Grandmama.
Good morning, honey. Today we're going to do something quick, easy, a one-pan meal.
Well, you got to get on with the program. It's 10:41, and I'm hungry.
I know. This is some chicken that I have taken my scissors and just cut in little bite-sized pieces. I'm going to put probably 3 tablespoons of olive oil in my skillet behind me. I turned it on medium-high. We're going to do a stir fry. And it's healthy, it's quick, it's easy, and it's good. So in my now I do a stir fry. Every time I do it a different way, just about it. I usually always use broccoli in it, but my other veggies, it can be asparagus, it can be green beans, it can be just whatever you want to put in yours. And but I always use broccoli. Okay.
And it's a low carb load and low glycemic load.
It's low carb.
Yep.
Just not low carb load, but low carb. Okay, in mine, we're doing broccoli. Now, I'm not doing much cauliflower. I'm doing just a little bit of cauliflower. If you like more, a lot of times I'll put as much cauliflower as I do broccoli, but today I didn't want to do that. I just want to do a little cauliflower. We've got some yellow sweet bell pepper here. I've got onions. I've got julienne carrots that I julienne myself. And I did them really, really thin because it takes carrots longer to cook than it does your other veggies. So I did them really, really thin. We've got mushrooms, and we're going to use some fish sauce. We're going to do salt and pepper. I've got some sesame oil here that we're going to use. And a lot of times I'll put fruit in mine. Pineapple sometimes, but today I'm using mandarin oranges. You can also do this with pork. You can do this with smoked sausage. And having mandarin oranges is delicious if you use smoked sausage as your meat. All right. Our light on our camera is, as y'all know, the other day it went out and we forgot to charge it, so it's on charge. So I'm using all the lights that I have this morning.
I'm going to say that was your fault.
Well, it probably was, because it's my responsibility. All right.
Not really.
Now this is 5. These are thighs, boneless, skinless thighs. A lot of times I use chicken breast. Sometimes I use thighs. Pork loin, cut it in little bite-sized pieces. Now, I've told y'all before, I have a directional mic, so when something is cooking in the background, I don't know why this mic picks up background noises, but I'm trying to talk louder, so that won't affect the way y'all hear me.
She talks loud at me all the time.
I do. Uh-oh, there's a piece of chicken I forgot to cut up. Before it gets too hot. Y'all, I love my scissors because you can take them apart and wash them and make sure that you wash them. These are Cutco. My grandson used to sell Cutco, and he gave me these probably, I don't know, 7 or 8 years ago, maybe longer than that, and I absolutely love them. So I'm just going to cut this little piece in bite-sized pieces. Now I've taken all the fat off of mine, more than Roy wanted me to, but somebody else may be eating it that does not like fat at all, so I went ahead and took the...
I just think they can eat less of it if they don't like the fat. I like the fat in there.
I know, but when...
No, we got grandkids that don't like to eat the fat. Girls, you know.
And I'm going to go ahead and season my chicken. That is 1 teaspoon of salt, a half a teaspoon of pepper, and I'm going to do garlic powder. I'm going to do a half a teaspoon of garlic powder and half a teaspoon of onion powder. Even though I'm putting onions in this, the garlic powder and onion powder gives it a different flavor than your fresh onion. I'm going to turn this up some more because I don't want it to get much juice in it. Alright. We've also got, and I used my garlic olive oil that I made myself. We're also doing sesame oil and we're doing some jalapeno sauce. I'm not going to put much in it, but I am going to put a little bit.
Well, they need to know that jalapeno sauce, this jalapeno sauce is very, very mild. Isn't it? It's a little warm to the, if you touch it to your tongue, but when you put it in a dish, it doesn't.
I found it, I don't even know where, it's Palermo, that's the name brand on it. And I never had seen it before, but
I think we got it at Walmart.
We may have.
Seems like we did.
I don't know, but anyway, I use it because I don't keep fresh jalapenos a lot, and so that really has a good flavor. All right, I have got, now the way I'm cutting my onions, I just took a medium onion, cut it in half, then I cut that half in quarters, and I'm just going to cut it in like half moon slices. Now again, this is to your taste. You do it the way you and your family prefer it. Okay? I think I'll put, we love onion. I think I'll put a little bit more. So that was like 3/4 of a medium onion. If you want yours chopped fine, that's good, that's fine, but we just like ours like this. Alright, I'm not going to use this piece. And I've got probably, this is all the mushrooms that I had. We even got a piece left now. That's all the mushrooms I had. I would put double this amount of mushrooms, but
If you have them.
That's all I had today. Yeah. And my peppers, I'm going to cut about like my onions, because some of the ones that eat this is not really fond of peppers a lot, so I'm cutting it in bigger pieces so they take them out. Okay? But it does give it, these peppers do give it a really good flavor.
And nutrition too.
Yeah. So you can cut yours or leave them out. Cut yours the way you want to, leave them out. But I wanted my peppers and my onions and my carrots to be all about the same size. I've got my broccoli, which I've washed really well. My cauliflower, I've got it about the same size. This is so quick and easy, y'all. Once my chicken gets done, I'm going to take it out, put it in a bowl, and then I'm going to put all my veggies. I'm probably going to put these veggies in because it doesn't take my broccoli and cauliflower as long as it takes these veggies here. So I'll put them in the same skillet. I will saute them for about 2 or 3 minutes, because when you're doing a stir fry, now you want everything kind of al dente. You don't want it mushy, you don't want it soft. You want it about to where it has texture to it when you eat it. Or that's the way we like ours. So, and that's the way most stir fries. If you go to a Chinese restaurant, you know your broccoli is still really crunchy, kind of. And that's the way we like ours. So, I'm going to finish cooking my chicken. I'll take it out when I start to put my veggies in. Then we'll come back and we'll show you how we're going to do that. All right, y'all, I decided that I'm going to go ahead and put some fish oil and my sesame oil in with my chicken because I want some of that flavor to absorb up into my chicken. Now, with this fish oil, I had never used it until we went out to Corey's in Texas to my grandson's. He said, oh, Grandma, you're going to love it, but it doesn't take very much. So, I'm going to start out with a half a teaspoon of this fish oil. Now, for those of y'all who use, it, a lot, then you will know more about how to use it than I do.
It's a little expensive, but it lasts a long time.
It lasts
because you use so little each time.
And it takes very little.
But it does add flavor now. It does.
All right.
The stir fries.
This is my toasted sesame oil. Well, I'm having trouble this morning. I'm going to put a tablespoon of that. We love the toasted sesame oil. Can you see down in here?
Yep.
All right. This is, you see how it's caramelizing? Now that's what you want. You want your chicken, you want to keep scraping. Get all those sediments. Look at that. Look at that chicken. Ooh,
oh, yeah.
that looks good. But you want all those sediments off the bottom.
That is so good.
All right. This is like got probably another minute, and then we're going to take it up, put our veggies in.
Grandma, if you get it smelling any better in here, I'm going to have to leave the kitchen.
All right. I got onions, mushrooms, carrots, and sweet bell peppers.
Wow. Health and delicious.
I left all of the oil from that chicken because I wanted the flavor to be in these veggies. All right. I am going to salt and pepper these veggies. I'm going to use, I put salt in my chicken, but I'm going to put like a 4th teaspoon of salt and a 4th teaspoon of pepper. Because that salt helps bring the juices out of these peppers and onions and mushrooms.
Did you put any ginger in?
Oh no, that's what, okay. I knew there was another ingredient that I wasn't, and I kept saying, what am I missing? What am I missing? But I am going to get some ginger out. So you can see this. I'm going to let it cook. Now, I don't want it to cook till it's mushy. I still want it crunchy and al dente. So that's probably going to take, I don't know, 3 minutes. I've got some fresh ginger over here. It may not be any good, but I'll check it. And if it is, we're going to use that. And if not, we'll just have to use ground ginger.
We'll be back. Okay, you got fresh ginger. You didn't.
I do have fresh ginger. It looked dried up, but y'all, it's not. It's good. So, I think I'm going to grate it and put it in there. Not sure. Let me see how it's going to do. But I think I'm going to grate it. Yeah, that's doing good. I don't use fresh ginger a lot, so I don't know how strong it is, but...
Any of you folks out there, put it in a plastic bag and freeze it after you first start using fresh ginger?
Let us
if you
know.
do, send me a note.
Yeah. All right, that is probably... I don't know how much to use. I'll put a little bit and taste of it, and then I'll put a little bit more, taste of it. Taste of that until... Now, Roy likes it really, really gingery, if that's a name, if that's a word. Me, not so much. I love ginger cookies, ginger snaps, molasses cookies with ginger. but just ginger, I'm not, well, I guess I do like it. So. But anyway, this is probably a tablespoon.
Well, you weren't raised on Chinese seasonings,
Oh no,
but
all we had was peas and butter beans and
Yeah.
corn and collards and turnips and pork chops and chicken and beef roast and potatoes and carrots, green beans. That's what I was raised on.
But
we had it.
we've learned to love it a lot more since you started your channel.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And this
And
is
I've always loved Chinese food or Asian food, but I don't know.
You hadn't
I've
cooked
just
it.
never experimented with their flavors. No, I haven't.
well, and at home
So-
we weren't using enough of their unique flavors to get the real Chinese flavor that we got
No.
when we went out to restaurants.
No,
But we loved it at restaurants.
All right, that is 1 tablespoon. Now, that may be too much, may not be enough, but I'm going to start out with half of that, and then we'll go from there. All right, our veggies still have probably another minute and a half. Can you see them, baby?
I can.
Man, don't those look good?
Look very good.
Now, if you cook them too long, they're going to lose their color. You want them to still have their vibrant color. See how pretty that is?
In my opinion, they're ready.
I think they're ready too. Yep. All right. Now, I am going to add my cauliflower right in here. Yeah, because if you cook them too much, then when you put your broccoli and cauliflower in there, then they're going to overcook. Okay? Now, y'all know I like to season every element of my dish. So I am going to put, now my fish oil has a little salt in it. So I'm going to have to be careful because I've already salted my chicken. I've already salted these veggies. But broccoli takes a good bit of salt. So
When do we get the mandarin oranges?
they come in at the end.
Okay.
Yeah. At the very end. Because you don't, if you, mandarin oranges, the canned ones and these are no sugar added.
So they don't need to be cooked at all?
No, they don't need to be cooked. You just fold them in at the end. Yeah, because if you cook them, they're going to tear all to pieces.
I have to ask about the oranges because I love those
He
mandarin
loves
oranges.
Now, pineapple, I would put it in right now because I would want my pineapple to caramelize
Pineapple
a
is
little
better
bit,
cooked, yeah.
and it's not going to cook all
Right.
the pieces like the mandarin oranges would. All right, I'm going to have to taste of this to see if I need to add any more of my, I got to put my ginger in. All right, y'all, we're going to start out with 1 teaspoon of fresh ginger. All right, let me stir it around in there. Now, if you notice, I have not put any water anywhere in this dish. You do not want water in your veggies. You don't want them to steam. You want them to stir fry. Okay? And as you see, there's no water in there at all. I'm trying to get that ginger stirred up really well.
You have got to hurry. I'm going to die and pass out if you don't.
All right, I need to see about the salt, and I need to see about the ginger, and I need to see about the sesame oil. So, let me get this little piece of broccoli. See, that little piece of broccoli right there is done.
I love the crunch in
That's good.
stir fries.
All right, I'm going to put that whole tablespoon of fresh ginger in there. Now,
Yay.
this is where I'm going to put, I'm going to take the lid off.
Now
And
this
I
probably isn't authentic Chinese right here, is it?
No,
This is
I don't
Rose.
think so.
This is Southernese.
Yeah. This is a 4 teaspoons, so I'm putting a half, I put 2 of those, I'm putting a half a teaspoon.
But that still will not make it, that sauce
No,
will
no.
not make this hot.
No, it will not.
It's just the flavor of the green
Yep.
pepper.
All right, y'all, I want you to look at this. Doesn't that look
Wow.
amazing? Whew.
Wow.
Okay. Everything is about done. I'm gonna give this cauliflower maybe another minute. I rather my cauliflower be a little underdone than my broccoli be too done. So I'm gonna go ahead and add my chicken.
Wow.
To that.
Oh my, I'm gonna go ahead and get my plate.
I'm gonna put a little bit more of the sesame oil in it just because I love it. And that's like probably a teaspoon. You have to be careful with that also because it's really strong. The flavor is really strong. But that was plenty of fish oil in it. Alright. I'm stirring that ginger up in it. Alright, I'm going to turn my burner off. How long did that take, y'all? 30 minutes, maybe?
Oh, this is
I'm going
quick.
to add my mandarin orange.
Oh yeah, and I love this part.
I'm going to save a few out for the top. Ooh, y'all look at that. Oh my goodness.
And this is health in a pan by the spoonful.
No sugar at all in those no sugar added in those mandarin oranges. All right, y'all.
Well, you folks know by now that when Rose says no sugar, it's no sugar
No added
added.
sugar.
We don't count the sugar in
We
the
know
food.
everything's got sugar in it.
Right.
I mean, unless it's, I don't know what doesn't have sugar.
We don't usually watch that unless you get to grapes and bananas that are real high.
Yeah, we do, yeah. And pineapple. I'm
A little careful with pineapple.
love pineapple, but I'm still don't use a whole bunch of it.
The glycemic load on the rest of the fruits and berries is 5 and below.
Yeah.
6 and below.
So, all right, y'all. I want y'all to look at this. Now, is that not a dish?
Rose.
Okay. I'm going to get everything cleaned up, and then we're going to give a taste test to y'all. All right, y'all. Can y'all see this?
Now, I love
Look at that.
stir-fried dishes. I love this Chinese dish that she cooks. This is wonderful.
Do y'all notice we always eat out of the same plate? Not so much at the table, but when we're doing a taste test, we pretty much always eat out of the same plate. Now, you do not want there to be juice in this when you are dipping it out. You don't want juice in it. You want it to be dry. You want it to be done. You want your vegetables al dente.
Real moist.
But you don't want
Water standing.
water. You don't want juice in it. And to do that, you have to cook it on like a little bit above medium high.
Now,
Okay.
I like juice in my plate, and most times I like the juice. Rose and the grandkids call it swamp plate. They say Granddaddy likes to eat out of a swamp plate. I think that's an insult, but I'm not sure.
You can taste the ginger.
Good.
That cauliflower is perfect.
Oh my. Let's eat.
Broccoli is still a little crunchy, al dente.
She done it right. Isn't that proper English? She done it right.
Y'all,
How about this be good? Is that good
the
English?
pepper. I'm glad I seasoned the chicken. Those flavors got all up in that chicken. Y'all. The carrot is cooked perfectly. Julienne your carrots thin. You can buy them julienne, but I just usually do my own. Y'all, this is delicious. Isn't this good, honey?
This is delicious. I'm fixing to eat. I can't help it. But y'all don't have any. I'm fixing to eat.
All right, y'all. Very, very healthy. Food feeds the family. Family feeds the heart. God feeds the soul. I made this in like 30 minutes. So very quick, very easy, very healthy, nutritious, low carb. All of the above. It checks about all the boxes. So All right, even if you're not on a low carb diet or anything like that, this is delicious. So, y'all share this video, subscribe to my channel. Roy and I are about to eat. See y'all later.
Love somebody today and pray for somebody that disagrees with you today sincerely.